Welcome viewers back to the Hawks Sports Network, where we are live once again at the Brampton Fairgrounds, this time for Game 2 between these two teams, the Durham Lords and the Humber Hawks. Of course, Humber lost that opening game 4-3, so their record now 12-7. And of course, Mo Khosrowshahi back to call this game, and now joined by my new broadcast partner here, Tyler Milton. And Tyler, with what you saw in that last game, what do you think that Humber needs to improve on to secure a win here?
Well, definitely more quality at bats, and they struggled in the later half of the game, really getting the ball in play. You saw in the sixth inning, they had none out, bases loaded, and they didn't even play to run. So I think it's important for them to attack early and often, and be aggressive in their at bats.
So here we go, Melissa McKnight leading things off. She picked up a leadoff single in her first at bat in the last game. This time she grounds out. And good play from Jenna Hillman. Of course, Jenna Hillman now making the start in this game at shortstop.
21, Cassidy Scott.
And here is Cassidy Scott making the start once again at center field. So we'll go through the changes throughout the duration of the game. Scott making her second consecutive start today at center field. And you see Miranda Pearson on the rubber for the Humber Hawks. Pearson actually started the last game when these two teams played, when it went to extra innings. Of course, she ended up pitching 4 innings in that game. Hillman makes that out as well, so Hillman now making the 2 outs here in the first inning.
Batting for Durham, number 15, Emily Hill.
And Tyler, you were there witnessing that crazy 11-inning game, and what a game it was. What were your thoughts on that game?
Well, it was a back and forth game. Both teams, when they looked like they were out, they were back in, and they kept on scoring runs. And with the extra inning format, it allowed for a lot of runs to be scored in a short period of time.
And we saw some of that back and forth action in that first game. Hill fouling that one off. Of course, Emily Hill started at right field in the first game. This game, she is taking the rubber as a pitcher, but still remains in that 3-hole. And in the first game, we saw with the umpire, they called those inside pitches strikes, so it'll be interesting to see how the zone may vary here. Of course, that one going for a ball. This one goes straight to Pearson, ends up throwing to first to McCallum, so that will do it for this inning. And that's a good sight to see for Humber, not allowing any runs.
Is shortstop number 5, Jenna Hillman.
And here we go, the bottom of the first. Humber, they scored all of their runs in the last game, and all came in this inning, the bottom of the first, where they scored 3 runs. And of course, Jenna Hillman making the start here. She came in to pinch hit in the last game. Looks at that one for a strike. That one goes for a ball, and on the rubber for the Durham Lords is Emily Hill. In 26 innings pitched, she has 3 wins to go along with a 2.96 ERA. So one of the better pitchers on this Durham team. That's a chopper there, and they just get Hillman there. Hillman, of course, possesses a lot of speed, has 13 stolen bases. That's tied for second in the OCAA.
Second baseman, number 4, Megan Murphy.
And here is Megan Murphy. Murphy finished last game 2 for 4, showing bunt there, but it fouls off.
Well, that's an interesting approach right there by Murphy, coming in first step out of the game for her, and trying to spark something for the Hawks offense. And I think going forward, they need to look at trying to get more runners on, maybe by bunt, maybe trying to be more selective at the plate.
So Murphy now finds herself in an 0-2 hole here, forcing to have to protect the plate now. Good job fouling that one right back.
Well, she's doing a good job here of really protecting the plate. She got down early in the count, and now she's really battling. And I think it's a great approach here by Murphy to hopefully net the Hawks first base runner.
Staying alive here, so you just want to rack up those pitches against Hill. Just have a productive at-bat, and as you mentioned, Tyler, you just want to see some more plate discipline being shown here from the Humber Hawks in this second game. Ball skips into the dirt, so that will go for a ball.
On a cold night like this, a pitcher won't have the best feel of the ball in her hand. So I think it's imperative for them to see a few more pitches, get the pitcher to really enjoy, or not so much enjoy, but get back into the rhythm of things when it's such a cold night like tonight.
Sarah Franchetto.
So you saw Coles making that out there at left field for Durham. And here is Sarah Franchetto now batting in the third hole there. Of course, Gregoris, in the first game, she was in the third spot. Franchetto was batting 6th, I believe. So, yep, 6th. So she's moving up in the lineup here. She takes on Emily Hill. Pitch just missing its mark there for a ball.
Well, and by having Franchetto hitting in the 3-hole here, it really lengthens out the order. You have Hillman and Camilleri coming into the game, and it makes the Hawks lineup just a little more potent compared to game 1.
So Franchetto now finds herself down in the count 1-2. And that one lands on the top of the dugout there, which was Durham's dugout, but Franchetto staying alive, fouling it off.
And again, it's another great approach here by the Hawks hitters. They're not going down easy, and they're making the pitcher Hill throw, an extra pitch here, and it's just really, it's going to add up at the end.
And you saw Coach Dwayne Bowles having a quick word with Franchetto. So Hill winds up, pitch well inside there. Good job from Franchetto laying off that one.
Well, and you see when you start fouling off a lot of pitches in that bat, it makes the pitcher a little more frustrated, and they try to expand the zone. And that's where you need to be more patient, as we mentioned earlier, to hopefully net the Hawks the first base runner.
And that time Franchetto strikes out, and that would also end the inning. So we're going to head to the top of the second, 0-0. The score remains.
when the fall. I said they come for me. I swear these is under me. The hate and the devil keep jumping me. Back rows on me, keep me company. Hey, we did the most. Yo, pull up and go. Yo, my down is a choke. Holding no fire with no host. We can rule it down with cool. Just a rolling, not a mule. Dabbing on her like the usual. Matching with the brick and voodoo. Court style with a bag. Then I send it through Uber. I'm young and rich and plus I'm bougie. I'm not stupid, so I keep the energy. It's on records, that back on back, so my money making my back pay. You got a little act right. We from the north, yeah, that way. Back cookie and the ashtray. This national smash day. Hop in the limb, have a drag race. I let them birds take a bath, baby. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Smell your bitch, yeah, cooking the beef in the crock pot. We came from
Leading off for Durham in the second is number 32, Ashley Wallace.
So the cleanup hitter, Ashley Wallace, making the start again at third base, and she will remain in the fourth hole. Taking a strike there. Wallace, of course, had a RBI, 2 RBIs, I should say, on the double. Gillingham just couldn't get a clean break on that ball, so she gets the error. We said in the first game, Gillingham has been improving on the field, but tough break there and gets the error.
Well, that's a ball as an infielder. You just have to stay down, even if it's, a couple steps as you're coming in.
Pearson now, she's going to have to force to make the out herself. So Sarah Seifred grounds out, and the runner moves up to second base.
12, Marina Christie.
During the summer when it's, warm and the fields are a little more dry, that ball will come back up. But with the rain yesterday, it makes the ground just a little more soft, which keeps the ball down.
And here is Marina Christie. She was 0 for 3 in the first game. She struck out twice, reached on base on an error. Sam McCallum threw it past the first base line. Of course, Pearson, one of the better pitchers on this Humber team, a 2.16 ERA, goes straight to Pearson. She can't come up with it herself, but big hit there. And we have runners on the corners now.
Yeah, that's a tough play for a pitcher. They're only 40 some odd feet away from home plate, and it's a hot shot right back to you, and it just unfortunately handcuffed Pearson, so they couldn't get an out.
Of course, Pearson has 3 complete games, and that leads the Humber Hawks. And she's going to need to have a big game, help Humber split the season series and split the results today. Showing bunt there, so the count now will go to 1-2, and Pearson, of course, now in a position to get a strikeout. She has 100 career strikeouts, and she got that 100th career strikeout against Seneca in the last game. Of course, Humber, they won both those games against the Sting. And that one just off the plate, not sure where it missed there. Gillingham is going to leave that one for Hillman. And they're going to say the runner is safe. So that will make the bases loaded.
Now batting number 19, Nicole Mancini.
And here is Nicole Mancini, the right fielder. Of course, Emily Hill, she initially started at right field in the first game, and with Hill moving to the rubber, Mancini now making the start.
And you can really see how versatile this Durham Lords team is, from Ashley Black, the pitcher that started in the first game, to Emily Hill here. She really brings a different aspect to the team that a lot of teams don't have, is the ability to play in the field and to pitch as well.
And a big strikeout there for Pearson as Mancini goes down swinging. So here is Coles. She started in left field in the first game, and she'll start there in the second game, and also hitting in the same spot in the lineup. And that one will go for a strike. Be really big and a huge, maybe a momentum swing if Humber can come out of this inning unscathed, and it won't happen, as that is an RBI double, and that will actually clear the bases. And Coles heads all the way to third base. She clears the bases, so she picks up 3 RBIs on the triple. And that is tough to see, especially with 2 outs. All you needed was just to get that batter out, and you would have gotten out this inning unscathed. So Coles getting her first triple, and that's actually her first extra base hit this season. And it comes at a very opportune time for Durham, showing bunt there. And they're going to check with the umpire, and they're going to say that the batter held up in time there on the bunt, didn't go through. They're gonna say that time she did go. So 1-2 is the count. Runner at third. So Hawks still need to keep Durham at bay, and they do so as Pearson gets another strikeout, but the damage was done. 3-0. Durham Humber looks to get it back as we head to the bottom of the second inning. So here comes the cleanup hitter, Aaliyah Davidson. But she had a quiet first game, was 0 for 4. And considering how close that game was, Humber definitely would have liked to see her come through a bit more, but she's going to look to change her fortunes here.
Well, and I think for Davidson, it's important for her to get a good first at-bat here. Look for a pitch you can drive, be selective. But if she doesn't get her pitch, take the base, pass the baton, and use her legs to, start some trouble for the Lords.
Davidson, of course, only has 1 stolen base, but still a lot of speed that she possesses, and you see that she covers a lot of ground there in center field. Of course, making the start in center field again in this one. Was right on top of that one. Davidson just can't get it past the second baseman. So Durham gets the out there, but good contact made from Davidson. Still searching for that first hit today.
And that was a good pitch there by Hill. Living on the outside corner really takes away Davidson's power. And you saw the weak contact there because of the weak barrel that came through the zone.
And here is Gregoris. She was 1 for 4, picked up a single. That came in the 7th inning. Good patience being shown from Gregoris. And she picks up a single. Left fielder had some trouble with it as it hits off her glove. So Coles will get the error there, and that allows Gregoris to move up to second base.
Well, that's a great approach there by Gregoris. You know, she went with the outside pitch and drove it to left field. And you know, the left fielder had a little bit of issues, and you know, the Hawks are going to cash in here with a runner on second base and only one out.
And here is Camilleri making the start today at the backstop position, the catcher position. Welcoming sight if you're a Humber Hawk fan, as Camilleri leads the Humber Hawks in batting average. In 23 at-bats, she has a .435 batting average.
And in her last game against Seneca, she really drove the ball well. You know, she had a double and a triple in the game, and she was really seeing the ball well and put some really good swings on it.
And they end up just getting the out there. Gregor is able to move up to third base. Excuse me, Gregor is able to move up to third base there. Camilleri out on the 4-3 ground out. Second baseman coming up with it. And here comes the all-time hits leader, Bonnie Gillingham. Of course, in that wild extra inning game, Gillingham had 3 singles and 2 RBIs.
Bonnie was instrumental in that 11th inning game.
Yep.
She, you know, was definitely a factor offensively, but defensively she made some great plays. And applying a throw from Davison to end the game in Durham.
Getting the strike there, so a 1-2 count, but Gillingham, she has an 0-2 count in her last at bat, and she really made the pitcher Ashley Black work and throw a lot of pitches. Let's see how she does here. And umpire hesitating a bit there, but ultimately makes the right call as Gillingham strikes out looking. So that does it. Through 2 innings, Durham holds a 3-0 lead. Humber still searching for their first hit.
Leading off for Durham, number 21, Cassidy Scott.
And we want to make note that Emily Erskine now in the game to catch. Of course, Erskine came into that game for Maddie Pasma. So the count 0-2 for Pearson. As she gets the signal, winds up and throws it straight into the dirt. So an easy pitch for Scott to lay off of.
And I think right there that was just a case of Pearson trying to give the hitter something different to look at.
And it ends up hitting Scott. It's still a foul ball. But Cassidy Scott catching a break there. So she'll head to the batter's box and reset 1-2 count. And that one gets past a diving McCallum, so Cassidy Scott ends up getting a single here.
Now batting number 15, Emily Hill.
So the 4th hit for Durham. And here comes Emily Hill. She skies this one towards center. Davidson comes up with it. Good play from her.
I definitely think it's imperative here for the Hawks to make sure that they don't allow the Lords to get back on the board in this inning. Have a shutdown inning from Pearson, and then allow the bats to get back at it with the top of the order coming around after McCallum and Kosich hitting the bottom half.
Pearson getting the strike to go that time. Wallace, she's gonna hit that one straight through the infield, and she's gonna get a single herself. So runners now at first and second with only one out here.
Next, number 44, Sarah Seifert.
And here is Sarah Seifert. Seifert will foul that one off and ends up hitting her in the back of the heel there.
And again right there you saw catcher Erskine try to set up just a little bit further off the plate just to give the hitter something different to look at and hopefully set them up for on the next pitch or the pitch after that for a strikeout or potentially a ground ball double play.
And the wild pitch there gets past the catcher as well. So both runners moving up, so we have both runners now in scoring position, and with only one out here, that eliminates the double play ball. Big strikeout for Miranda Pearson. So Humber now only needing one out, and they will get out of this inning. But of course, Durham did all of their damage with 2 outs on that triple.
And right here is where Pearson needs to bear down and really attack the Durham hitter. And it doesn't even have to be a strikeout.
Christie towards Murphy. She comes up with it, so that will end the inning. The lead remains intact for Durham, though, 3-0. Humber will look to get it back now at the bottom of the 3rd. So the bottom of the third inning starts off with the former Durham Lord, Sam McCallum. Of course, McCallum in her first plate appearance in the last game had a single, and she was also hit by a pitch in her last at-bat. And we saw her have very productive at-bats. Just struggled a bit on the field, picking up 2 errors. She's going to drive this one towards right field. And Mancini will come up with that one. So a loud first out there. Of course, McCallum's first hit in the last game was down in the same location there on the right field line.
Well, it was definitely a good swing there by McCallum. Unfortunately for her, she just got underneath the ball a little bit too much, which resulted in a pop fly.
Sorry there, Tyler. And here is Kate Kostick starting at left field. Of course, Kira Gay was the starting left fielder in the last game, so a change to note there for Humber. Fouling off the first pitch and going to look at the outside pitch for a ball.
And I think the difference between, or should I say the change coming between Gay and Kostic is strictly defensive, I think. And it's no knock towards Kira Gay and her defense, but Kostic is, an above average defender, and with Jenna Hillman now being at the top of the order, they don't need that speed threat as they had in the last game.
Kira Gay, of course, she did make up some good big plays there on left field. But especially dropping that first game, Humber was forced to make some changes, but a strikeout there for Kostic. She swings right through the high pitch.
Next batter, shortstop, number 5, Jenna Hillman.
And here is the shortstop, Jenna Hillman. She grounded out to short in her first at-bat. This one goes right to the shortstop again. This time she pops out. So McKnight will end the inning for Durham. Humber not able to get much going here. 3-0, the Lord still up. Here's the second baseman, Jamie Clark. Gonna hit this one towards center field. Davidson, good positioning there, comes up with the out. So Pearson getting the quick out there on the first pitch.
Next, number 19, Nicole Mancini.
And here is Mancini. She struck out in her first plate appearance. And of course, Mancini in 39 at-bats. She's hitting .436. So one of the better hitters on this Durham Lord team.
Oh, and when you see a hitter have a good batting average, especially in that many of at bats, it just means they're seeing the ball well. And they might not be the most powerful hitter, they might not be the fastest runner, but they find a way to get a hit, get on base, and make the life difficult for the pitcher and the opposing team.
Yep. So, as you mentioned, Tyler, Mancini just a productive batter, and she gets a walk there. So we have a runner at first for Kaylee Coles. And of course, Coles picked up all the runs for Durham on that triple. And of course, entering today, Coles only had 9 RBIs, and looks like we're going to have a change here. So it'll be Lisa Doherty coming in to pinch run. Yeah, they're showing bunt there. And with the speed of Doherty, that's probably a good idea for Durham as the runner is able to move up off the sacrifice bunt.
Well, you saw both sides right there of Cole's game. In her first at bat, she drives the ball into the gap to bring in all 3 runs for the Durham Lords, and now she lays down a bunt to move a runner up with 2 outs.
And so it's Melissa McKnight, and that makes the bunt even better, as Melissa McKnight, one of the better hitters on this team, but she ends up popping right out, so she's not able to do much damage herself. 3-0 the score remains. So Murphy going to look at that one for a ball. Humber, of course, just has 1 hit so far, and that came courtesy of Alyssa Gregoris, who got a single, and they're going to get their 2nd hit. Another single. Megan Murphy. And that's all you want to do to lead off an inning. Just get on base any way you can.
Oh, and absolutely. You see a great approach there by Murphy, hitting the ball right back up the middle. And this allows the middle of the order to move around, get the Hawks on the board, and make some damage going towards the later half of the game.
Sarah Franchetto ends up lining straight. Are they going to get the double play? They do. So just as some excitement was building for the home team, Humber Hawks, off the single from Murphy, just a tough break there off the lineout, was good contact made. A good heads-up play defensively from Durham.
Well, as a base runner right there, you got to see the ball down first and foremost, really. And when the ball doesn't end up getting on the ground, you can't get hung out dry. And unfortunately for Murphy, she took one too many steps and was picked off first base.
So the tables actually turned for Murphy that time. We saw in the first game she was able to turn 2 on a similar play off the line drive. But this time she's on the receiving end of the double play. And here is Aaliyah Davidson. They really need to get her going. Is she going to pick up a hit here? Center fielder's tracking it down. It falls with Davidson's speed we mentioned before. She's going to stretch that one to a double. So good hitting there from Aaliyah Davidson, getting her first hit today.
Well, and you know what? As you just mentioned, she really has a lot of speed, and she doesn't end up getting to utilize her speed a lot because she hits a lot of extra base hits.
Next batter, number 8, Elisa
I think
Gregoris.
this season's a lot different as opposed to last season, and she's really driving the ball more, and case in point right there.
And Aaliyah Davidson leads the team with 7 doubles. So, as you mentioned, she gets a lot of extra base hits, and you just saw that there. So don't look back now. We have a runner in scoring position, 2 outs.
Oh, and this really shows its ugly head for Murphy. If she doesn't end up getting picked off there at first base, that run scores, and that's a 3-1 game. But instead, just a runner on second base, and the Hawks still threatening here, but it could be a 3-1 game.
Gregoris, of course, in that 15-14 extra inning game, she had a triple to go along with 3 RBIs, and of course she picked up the first hit for Humber today on a single.
Well, you can really see in left field how they've shifted their defensive positioning, and they're really looking for Gregoris to hit the ball down either line, really, leaving the gaps wide open for her.
She's gonna slap this one. The shortstop having some trouble with it. So Melissa McKnight gets the error there. Davidson, good job just holding up there. So runners at first and second.
Number 10, catcher Emily Erskine.
And of course, with Emily Erskine coming to the game for Camilleri earlier, she is now going to have her first at-bat of the game.
Well, and Erskine has a lot of power, and this would be a great opportunity for her to use the gaps to drive in both runners.
Erskine has 4 RBIs this season. A .389 batting average in 18 at-bats. And that one is near us here.
And I don't think Mo brought his glove to the game.
No. So we saw a few balls come our way here. And that just might be an indication of a batter just right on top of that pitch. Just the timing just needs to be ironed out. You see her right back to us again. And Tyler, this time you don't have your glove. So 2 foul balls coming straight our way. 0-2 the count with 2 outs and 2 runners on base. Another foul ball straight back.
Well, you can really see Erskine's right on the pitch. Every pitch that Hill's thrown, she's seen it all the way in. And the last 3 swings, she's just fouled them off. And she's definitely on it and trying to drive the ball to the gaps.
Pitch well inside there. Good eye from Erskine. She's going to drive this one to left. It's back, and a loud out. You saw the entire home crowd here standing up. Everyone thought that one had some distance to it. May have just sailed over the fence. They were expecting it to, but allowed out there towards the left fielder, Coles.
Well, and you really saw right there, Mo, the power we were just speaking about.
Yep.
And, you know, that she got under just a little bit too much, and unfortunately hit all the way back to the fence. And unfortunately for the Hawks, they can't play any runners this inning, but they want to build on this momentum going forward.
So Scott gonna lead off this inning at the top of the 5th. She picked up a single in her last at bat. But as this game progresses, Tyler, we see Humber making better contact with the ball, and they're just inching closer and closer, maybe to that first run, and hopefully eventually tying this game.
Well, they're having a lot more quality at bats this game, and you know what? They haven't shown its way on the scoreboard yet, but you can see in their amount of quality, you know, swings and the amount of deep counts they get into that they're really seeing the ball well off of Phil, and hopefully going forward they're gonna play a runner or two. Makes the game interesting.
This one is way up there, and Hillman's gonna come up with that one.
Now batting for the Lords, number 15, pitcher Emily Hill.
And here is the pitcher, Emily Hill, 0 for 2. Gonna look to help her own cause here. Swinging through that one. And it goes foul, and you saw Coach Jim Nemesh almost wanted to make the bare hand play there.
Yeah, and it's too bad he didn't bring his glove either, eh?
Of course, as we mentioned, in his 28th season with this team. Very long tenured coach, a very well-respected coach.
Definitely one of the most winningest coaches in the OCAA, in all of sports.
And here it comes once again, Tyler. So a few balls now coming our way, and as we mentioned, that just shows that the hitter is right on top of those pitches. And you see it right there. Hill drives it to center field. Davidson covering a lot of ground, coming up with the out. So 2 outs. Pitch almost hitting Wallace there, and Wallace, of course, reached on base twice. In her last at bat, it was through a single, and then she also reached on base from an error. Hillman showing a good arm there, coming up with the out, throwing an ace right there to first base. McCallum makes that catch, completing the out, and that will complete the inning. 3-0, bottom of the 5th coming up.
to third baseman Bonnie Gillingham.
So here we go with Bonnie Gillingham. 3 hits so far for Humber. And Tyler, in this 3-0 game, are you changing your approach if you're a Humber Hawk batter?
I don't think so. You know, the way you're looking at Humber hitting right now, they're seeing the ball really well off the pitcher hill. And I think they should continue with their approach because they're getting a lot of deep counts, allowing themselves.
And that one gets right past Melissa McKnight. So McKnight picking up her 2nd error this game. Bonnie Gillingham gets on base. And you'll take it any way you can if you're a Humber Hawk fan.
To continue with their approach, I think the Hawks are doing a good job at, you saw right there, is even though they hit it on the ground, they hit it hard. And if they continue hitting the ball hard, the ball's going to fall somewhere or the defense is going to make an error.
So McCallum receiving some signs here from Coach Dwayne Bowles. Great pitch there from Hill. It looked to have been outside, but it comes right down the middle, and that threw off McCallum as well. McCallum now with the hit, has some distance. It's gone. Sam McCallum. She continues to get revenge on her former team, this time getting a 2-run home run. Sam McCallum coming through for the Humber Hawks. They're only down by 1, 0 outs in the inning.
And you saw that's another great swing by the Humber hitters. And, you mentioned earlier whether they should change their approach. That right there is case in point why they're not changing their approach.
Left fielder, Kate Costa.
So Sam McCallum really making her presence felt in both these games and really redeeming her play on the field after she picked up 2 errors. Wow, Sam McCallum, her first home run this season.
Well, what right there, Mo? You're really seeing how much that hurt the Lords. Their body language is a little bit more down, and it all started with that error made by McKnight at shortstop.
Yep.
And that runner gets on, and McCallum gets a pitch she can drive and hits it over the fence.
And here we go. Could this be another hit? It gets past the center fielder's head. Kostic now with a stand-up double, and here come the Humber Hawks.
Now batting number 5, shortstop Jenna.
Oh, and again, another hard hit ball. And if that's not a tell to me that they're seeing the ball well and they have a good approach, I don't know what there is.
So these teams entering today had hit 3 home runs apiece, with Sam McCallum hitting that home run. Humber now has 4 home runs this year. And you have Jenna Hillman at the plate and Tyler with a runner there at second, 0 outs. You have a speedster in Hillman. Are you thinking bunt here just to maybe move up the runner?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Even if it's just her showing it.
And that line out again results in a double play, and that will stop some of the momentum and some of the bleeding. Tough out there for Jenna Hillman.
Well, you know what?
At the end of 5.
Hate to say it, but it was another hard hit ball.
Yep. But hey, maybe they should have went with the bunt. We will never know how it would have panned out, though. And Murphy, she's taking a healthy hack of her own, thinking extra bases with that kind of swing. And Dwayne Bowles is going to ask her to come towards his direction, and he's going to give some few words to Megan Murphy.
Well, and I think that conversation right there is just to settle down Murphy. You know, this inning's been a roller coaster of emotions. You know, from McCallum's home run to that lineout right there. You know, the good and the bad for the inning, and Murphy just needs to do what she does best and just get on base.
Murphy, the third-year player from Brampton, Ontario, looking at that one for a strike. So another wild game between these two teams, and what an entertaining contest it's always been when these two teams play against each other. Murphy flying that one to left field, and Coles comes up with it, but the Humber Hawks plate 2 runners off Sam McCallum's home run. 3-2 the score.
Off in the Lords, number 44, designated hitter, Sarah Seifert.
So top of the 6th now. Miranda Pearson still on the rubber for Humber. She has really settled down after giving up 3 runs in that second inning. Has not allowed any runs since. So we find ourselves in a 3-2 ball game here.
Well, you know what? That's what Humber needed. They needed Pearson to come out and, you know, wait until the offense was ready. And they kept on having good at-bats, couldn't plate runners. Last thing they played is their runners. Now they need Pearson to have what we would call a shutdown inning. And that's when your team scores runs for you. You need to throw a 0 up on the board. Continue your momentum towards your next at-bats.
And that one goes foul. And we also saw the similar case with Rachel Matheson Green. After she gave up a few runs, she also really settled down herself. So we definitely got to credit the mental aspect from these Humber Hawks pitchers. Big swing there and a miss. So we'll see how the Durham Lords regroup after that big first inning from Humber. Excuse me, that big inning from Humber, I should say. That one gets past Pearson. Going to be a tough play, and Murphy's going to end up throwing it anyways, but it was well late, so a single there.
Now batting for the Lords, number 12, first baseman, Marina Christie.
So Sarah Seifert getting the single. Christie already showing bunt. And with Humber struggling to play the bunt here, be interesting to see how that pans out. That one goes for a strike, an 0-2 count, so you'll probably not see a bunt being shown here.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? That definitely plays into Humber's hands, looking for a ground ball here to at least get the lead runner at second base.
And a strikeout there. Huge strikeout for Miranda Pearson. And she's come up with some big strikeouts at some very opportune times.
Number 6, second baseman.
Oh, and she's single-handedly helping the Hawks get back in the game. And although she can't do the offense portion of the game, she's doing her part with the ball in her hand on the mound.
Another bunt being shown. Here's Gillingham. Comes up with it. McCallum Or actually, that was Murphy there who was covering in the first base bag. Good job from Murphy.
Now batting for the Lords, number 19, right fielder Nicole Mancini.
And here is Nicole Mancini. She drew a walk in her last at-bat. That came in the 4th inning. She hits this one near the Humber bullpen. Good pitching being displayed here from Miranda Pearson, catching the corner of the plate there.
Well, she's really working both halves of the plate in this outing.
So as this game has been progressing along, Miranda Pearson just continues to get better and better, it seems. Still, you have a runner there at second base. That one skips in. Good defense there from Emily Erskine, keeping in front of her.
Well, the thing with Pearson is she's a battler, and she does a good job at attacking the Lord's hitters and every single hitter in the OCAA.
This one is popped out. And you see there, varsity player Kenneth Honfield can't make the catch there as the ball heads to the crowd. And that one just outside. And that one is pulled foul. So a full count here. Mancini really making Pearson work here, though. A 3-2 game, a 3-2 count. This one is charged there into center and right field. Good job there from the Humber outfielders, though, coming up with it as Franchetto makes the out. So let's see if Humber can keep the momentum going here in a 3-2 game as they look to get the lead. Franchetto skies this one well up high, and McKnight comes up with that out. So a first pitch out here, and here comes Aaliyah Davidson.
Aaliyah Davidson.
Davidson, of course, picking up a double in her last at-bat. Looking to do some further damage here. She's going to drive this one into the outfield again. Goes over the left fielder's head. Davidson with her second double in the game. So after being quiet all throughout today, here comes Aaliyah Davidson, and here come the Humber Hawks.
Number 8, designated hitter, Elisa Gregoris.
Oh, and you saw right there, another quality swing by a Humber Hawks hitter. And Davidson now has 2 doubles on the night, and hopefully with Gregoris and Erskine and Gillingham coming up. They can play the run, tie up the game, and really make the game interesting going into the 7th.
So Davidson with 2 RBIs, and that is her 8th of the season. And here is Gregoris. She's going to drive this one in the outfield as well. And that's going to split the outfield, and that will tie the game as Davidson comes to score, and Gregoris picks up a double of her own, 3-3, and the bottom of the 6th with only 1 out here.
Number 10, the catcher, Emily Erskine.
Came from there. We gon' live it up, so we bring it back down. I hope you live a long life.
So we're going to have a change here as Ashley Black will come into the game. So Black will come in to pitch for Emily Hill. And of course, Black was outstanding in that first game. So this pitching change comes at a crucial time, and what a game we have in store here in Tyler. We might be looking at another extra inning game between these two teams.
Well, all we can do is knock on wood. We don't want to make sure we get an extra inning game, but you know, as long as the Hawks end up coming out on top, that's all that matters.
And we saw Emily Erskine. She's been displaying her power in this game. She flew out to a left field, but as we mentioned, she put a charge into it, and she's going to get a single here. Runner's being waved in to score. Humber has the lead.
Up the back of the Hawks, number 2, third baseman, Bonnie.
So the Humber Hawks scored the run, and it was actually Kira Gay who came into the game and came all the way around to score. And Gillingham puts a charge into this one, and it falls. So they're going to get another runner to score as Gillingham picks up a double. And the momentum keeps on going. This Humber Hawk team is continuing their rally. A 5-3 game, and sorry, Tyler, go ahead. Getting carried away here.
You know, it's hate to repeat myself, but another great swing, another great at bat by the Hawks hitters, and you know they're using the whole field from foul line to foul line, and doing a great job of attacking first couple pitches. You know, you saw their approach change just slightly. You know, previous at bats they've been seeing more pitches, but the second time they've seen Black tonight alone, so they're attacking real early and looking to make some damage.
And of course, it's tough to question a coach in his 28th season, but do you agree with the decision to bring in Black after that first game?
Well, you know what, bring in Black, maybe not, maybe another pitcher, but definitely there need to be a change after Hill was getting hit pretty hard.
And of course, Sam McCallum, she had that big home run, and Humber, they have not looked back since.
Oh, and that was definitely the quote-unquote TSN turning point.
The turning point, but as Jim puts it, the HSN turning point. So we're coining that phrase now. So a 1-2 count. We still have only 1 out take place in this inning. So Humber can continue on putting on some runs, and they'll do so. Actually, Dwayne Bowles, good job from him holding up the runner, and that was the right call as a strike was just thrown to the plate there from the outfield. So good heads-up play from the fifth-year coach holding up Gillingham there at third.
Kate Kostick.
And here is Kate Kostick. Of course, Kostick, she had a double in her last at-bat, and with the way this offense has been going, it'll be interesting to see what she can do here. So runners at the corners, 1 out. They're swinging at the first pitch again. Oh, McKnight almost losing sight of that one. And she's had a tough game here in the infield at short. Of course, she picked up 2 errors in this game.
Hillman.
But of course, McKnight, arguably the best hitter in this Durham team. And we have a pinch runner for Sam McCallum, as it will be Alexa Vassos. Vassos, of course, a first-year player from Mississauga, and she started that first game at short.
This is strictly to get a little more speed on the bases. You can definitely expect McCallum to come back in the game after this inning, but hopefully with the ball in the gap by Hillman.
And of course, Hillman just hits it straight to the pitcher there, so that'll finally end this inning. But the Humber Hawks put up 5 runs in 2 innings, and that gives them a 5-3 lead.
At the end of 6, the score
So we'll be heading to the final inning, potentially, if Humber can close this one out.
Off to the Lords, number 23, left fielder, Kaylee Cole.
So here we go, Kaylee Coles heading up to the plate. Miranda Pearson remains on the rubber. She's going to try to go for her 4th complete game this season. And you see a lot of velocity in that throw from Miranda Pearson, throwing some heat there. And that might be an indication. You saw her settle down, of course, after she gave up those 3 runs in the second inning. And with that run support, of course, some added confidence maybe.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? Coming in after an inning like that, where your team finally...
Gillingham ends up completing the play, and that will be the first out in the inning. And Tyler, go ahead and finish your point there.
Oh, you know, just coming in and off an inning like that, you know, emotions are running high, and you want to definitely reward your team for plating those 5 runs and getting you the lead and win the ball game.
And Pearson that time just throws it too low. So Melissa McKnight hoping to redeem herself here, given her play in the infield. Of course, we mentioned a very dangerous hitter, though, and you see why there. She puts that one into the left field. And it's a big diving catch from Kate Kostick.
Up to bat for the Lords, number 21.
What a play from Kostick. So only 1 more out, and Humber will secure a 5-3 win. Pitch sails up high in the zone there. So the Hawks just need to keep their composure here. So now the pitch low in the zone. So Pearson going to continue to keep the batter guessing here. And that one just misses its mark. Cassidy Scott now finds herself in a 3-0 count. That time Pearson gets the strike. Scott is 1 for 3 in today's game. She had a single in the 3rd inning. And she will draw a walk here. So that will bring the tying run to the plate with Emily Hill, who of course started as the pitcher in this game. And a mound visit here from Dwayne Bowles. Just a quick word with his pitcher.
Oh, and I can expect what Dwayne just said to Miranda was, go get him. You know, you got 2 outs this year ball game. Go finish it out. Let's get home and let's clinch at least 3rd spot in the OCAA.
So Pearson just going to try to empty out the gas tank here. Just needing 1 more out. That was a close pitch that was off the mark there. And another one that was outside. So actually the count is 1-1. Hill puts a charge into this one. Davidson on top of it. And she makes the out, and that will finish this game. A 5-3 win for the Humber Hawks. So both these teams will split the season series at 2 apiece. And Tyler with the tournament on its way, on its horizon, I should say, on October 20th. Be interesting to see these 2 teams end up facing each other again.
Oh, and you can most definitely think about them potentially being a 1st round matchup. And I think as a fan, that's exciting. And you get to see 2 quality teams go head to head, and they're going to bring their best. And you can expect to see, you know, an Ashley Black and you know, Miranda Pearson going at it once again, you know, in a week's time.
So for my broadcast partner, Tyler Milton, along with Mo Khosrowshahi, thank you for joining us. We will see you next